you to stay on video if you want, but I'm gonna come on over and we'll get started. Just starting in your usual easy seat, whatever that might look like for you right now. Today, hands resting somewhere that's comfortable in your lap, maybe hips up on a block so they're a little higher than your knees. Spine nice and long. Eyes closing or letting the gaze soften. And just taking a moment to really begin to come into this space. And let the awareness settle on the breath. No need to change anything. Just watching as the breath lifts and expands the body with the inhales. And as everything sinks back towards center with the exhales. And beginning to notice all the little details of the breath, all the details of quality. Where is the breath located? How quickly does it flow? Is it smooth and even? Taking in all these details without judgment, just as little observations guiding you as to where you are as you arrive here today. And then gently beginning to lengthen the breath, gently extending the inhales, and gently extending the exhales. As you inhale, feel the air pulled all the way down, filling the abdomen, expanding the ribcage, lightly lifting the collarbones. With each exhale, the collarbones sink, ribcage contracts, navel jaws lightly back in towards the spine. And with each inhale, feel yourself breathing in space and ease and lightness into the body. Each exhale, releasing everything else that's not this present moment. So that each breath brings you more and more into this space, and this moment, and this body, exactly as it's showing up right now. On your next inhale, feel the crown of the head lift up even longer on both sides of the neck. As you exhale, let your right ear just drop over the right shoulder for a moment. Feeling that length along the left side of the neck. Deciding if you want to stay with that in stillness, or do you want to invite in movement, nodding the head yes, right ear heavy to right shoulder. Or shaking the head no. Or circling the chin. Whenever this feels complete to you, roll the chin slowly right down to center, letting the head drop down heavy, but feeling the spine still lifting up nice and tall and long. Feeling for that length through the back of the neck and deciding, do you want to stay here in stillness? Or nod the head yes with the gaze low. Or maybe let the chin stay close to the chest and turn the head side to side, rotating the gaze. And after a moment or two, when you're ready, on an exhale, roll that left ear over to left shoulder, right fingertips reaching heavy to the ground, and then pausing to feel that sensation of lengthening along the right side of the neck. And deciding, do you want stillness here? Or do you want to invite a movement, nodding the head yes? Or shaking the head no? Or circling the chin? And again, when this feels complete to you, at some point rolling the chin right down to the chest, letting the head hang down heavy. You can stay in stillness, or you might take your hands to the junction of neck and shoulders and just massage out some of the tension that gets held there throughout the day. Whenever this all feels complete to you, taking the heel of one hand to your forehead, on an inhale, gently set your head right up into center. Exhale and release the hand down. And then extending the legs out long, with the feet a little bit wide so that you have room to keep your toes in. Your hips can still be up on a block or a cushion, just so your hips are a little higher than your knees, so that your spine feels nice and long. You're not feeling rounded back here. And draw your awareness just to those thigh bones. Pull your toes strongly back in towards you as far as they'll come. And then on an exhale, turn those thigh bones inwards. So the toes turn in, internal rotation through the hips. Take a breath here, really pulling the toes towards you. And then on your next inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, rotate out, turn the femurs out in the hip sockets. Toes still drawing strongly in towards you. See if you can hold that here. Breathing smooth and even. And on your next inhale, come back through neutral. Pointing the toes. See how far down you can curl the toes down now. Feel what that work is. And when you come to your next exhale, come back to internal rotation. The thigh bones roll inwards towards each other. Smooth, even breath here. And on your next inhale, coming back through neutral. Exhaling to externally rotate. Just noticing, is it different with the toes pointed in plantar flexion than when they were drawn back towards you in dorsiflexion? Inhaling through center. And then giving yourself a little circle through the ankles in each direction. So we're going to bend the knees and let the soles of the feet be wide, about as wide as your mat would be. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. And your hands can be behind you so that you have a little bit of support, or you can play with balance. And as you're ready, on an exhale, your knees drop over to the right. Keep your torso just facing your hips, facing that front right shin. And then inhale, slowly come back up through center. Exhaling slowly over to the left, and then really noticing as you move, can you make this about muscular control, not about gravity pulling you down or momentum pulling you up as you lift back up on your inhale. And then exhaling over to the right. This time let yourself continue to rotate. The torso twists, the gaze goes over the right thumb. And when you inhale, letting the hands come all the way back through center. Exhaling over to the left and rotating around, arms extend out, gaze can come over left thumb. And inhaling to come back through center. This time, as you send yourself over to the right, pause with the torso facing your right shin. You can make any little adjustments you might need to so that your legs are at 90-degree angles. Your hands can come on either side of your right thigh. And then letting your right knee left knee stay on the ground. See if you can draw your awareness to that left thigh bone and find internal rotation. The thigh bone turns in and the left heel lifts just slightly. And exhale, lower down. That's very intense, right? Feel your inside edge of your left foot down, and then inhale, lift the left knee. So you're coming into external rotation, a little bit of hip abduction. And then let that release back down. One more time, each direction. The knee stays down, the heel lifts, internally rotating. And then exhaling to release. Inside edge of the foot stays down, the knee lifts. External rotation, abduction. And then release back down. Inhaling to come all the way back through center, both knees lifting slowly with control. And then exhaling over to the left. And again, take a moment to adjust yourself so that you have that 90-degree angle on your left knee and your right knee. Hands to either side of your left thigh. Right knee stays down. And then see if you can find that internal rotation of the right thigh bone. So the right heel lifts just slightly. And then release that down. Inhaling to lift the right knee. Right side, inside edge of the foot stays down. And then exhale more. One more time, same thing. Inhaling to lift the right heel. Exhaling the lower. Inhaling, knee lifts. And exhaling to lower. Inhale, come all the way back through center. Extend the legs out long, wiggle out a little bit through the legs, through the hips. And then making your way onto your knees, so any way that you like to get there. And when you come onto your knees, you might want that cushion or the blanket, whatever you have, under your knees so that you can play a little bit and have a soft landing here. So on your knees, inhale, reach those arms right up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up. You can reach out a little bit to the left, send your hips over to the right. Feel into this whole right side body. Maybe you like stillness here. Maybe you want to let the arms round forward and then draw them up and back. Find a little bit of movement through the shoulders, through the thoracic region of the spine. And after a breath or two, come all the way back up through center. Switch the interlace of your fingers, press the palms up. This time, inhale, lift the hips. And then as you exhale, send the arms over to the right, hips to the left. And then feel that length all on the left side of the body. And the same thing, you can stay in stillness, you can let the arms run forward and come back. Find a little bit of movement through shoulders, through the upper spine. On your next inhale, coming back up through center. Exhale, the hands come right down to the heart. So you can tuck those back toes under, and then here is where you decide if you're going to play with balance and control, or if you want to use the blocks for a little bit of support. So toes are tucked under, and then see if you can lift your knees right off of your mat, coming into a low squat. And then as you exhale, let the knees lower gently back down. So feel free to keep your hands on the blocks the whole time, or to see what does it feel like if I try to lift my knees and then lower slowly with control back down. And you can even lift one knee at a time, see how that feels. And then the other one. And lower one knee at a time. And see how that feels. And feel free to use your hands. And then releasing both knees down, untuck the toes. You're going to step your left foot just out to the left, just a little bit left of you, and then sink down towards your right heel. And if you can't sink all the way to your right heel, feel free to use a block at any height under your sit bones so that you have something to sit to. So your left foot is squeezing in towards you. Knee might be a little bit past that left ankle. And then just kind of rocking forward and back. You can reach your arms forward if you like, or up. You can let the heel lift. Just play with moving weight into that left side. And then after a moment or two, notice where your left heel is and see if you can keep the left heel down and see how far forward you can send your left knee without that left heel lifting. Might feel like a lot of work through the outside of the left shin. Pause there and see if you can lift your toes. Can you lift your toes just a little bit right there? Lots of work. And then release the toes, release that effort. You can take your hands right behind you. Press into those hands. Draw your shoulder blades back and together. You can leave your chin on your chest, or you can let the head drop back. Or if you want to take the intensity up, you can press into the right shin and let the hips lift and find a little bit of hip extension. On your next exhale, let the hips start to lower if they're lifted, and then inhale, come back up through neutral. Your left elbow can come right around that left knee. And then inhale, just reach that right arm all the way up, over, let it drop over to the left. And then anything that feels good here, you might smooth through the wrist, bend through the elbow, make a big circle with the shoulder. And on your next inhale, coming through center, lifting the hips, and then let that left knee come right in under the right knee. right under the right knee, next to the right knee. And then move any way you like to. You might circle through the hips a little bit, just feel a little bit of what's happening different left and right sides of the body. Or you could play with a little bit of cat and cow for kneeling. And when you're ready, at your own pace, at some point we're going to step the right foot just a little bit over to the right, sinking left hip towards your left heel or towards a block to support you. And the same thing, start to play with sending the weight a little bit forward and back into this right ankle. So we're playing with finding really deep dorsiflexion with how far can you get the knee to come towards your top of your right foot, right? Trying to find what is the maximum angle there in your body today, just as it happens to be. And after a few moments of playing with forward and back, see if you can see where is the limit. Can you get your heel to stay down, but how far can you press that knee forward? Notice where the work in your body is to make this happen. And then see if you can draw the toes up at the same time. So you're drawing your toes up towards your knee, but pressing your knee down towards your toes. Heels on the ground, sole of the foot on the ground. One more breath. And then releasing that, you're going to walk your hands back behind your hips, palms pressing down, fingers forward, shoulder blades drawing down the back body so the collarbone's broad, and then maybe you stay right here. Maybe let the chin drop to the chest, let the head drop back. Just take the intensity out if that feels good, or just find an extension, lifting the hips, pressing into that left shin. Breath smooth and even. And on your next exhale, letting the hips lower, inhaling to come back up through neutral. And then letting that right hand wrap around, right arm wrap around your right knee. Inhale, reach the left arm all the way up and over, let it drop over to the right. And then just that stillness or movement through the fingers and the wrists. You might play with bending the elbow and straightening the arm. You can move through the shoulder. And after another round or so of breath, on an inhale, reach yourself up, lift the hips, let the right knee come under the left. And again, you can move any way you want to. Give yourself a moment just to feel what's happening left and right sides of the body. Yep, you can find some nice hip extension, lift the heart, send the hips forward. And then just let me know how you're doing, right? Thumbs up, thumbs down, everything okay? Everything good? Great. Okay, so we're gonna take the blocks and place them, it's a little bit off center so that they're over to your left. Just sort of on an angle straight out from your left thigh. Hands there, and then send your right leg straight back behind you. And circle that right leg all the way out to the right until the sole of the right foot comes down and it's just straight out from your hip. And take your left hand so that it's right under your left shoulder. Inhale, reach that right arm all the way up and over and find nice length here. Now, if you feel like taking the intensity up at any point, you can always let your hand come down and come to side plank. There's no need to be in side plank, so if that feels good, stay there. But if that doesn't feel like what your body wants, don't feel like you need to be there. And then from here, we're going to play with finding a little bit of same side strength, same side contraction. So on an inhale, can you float your right leg and let your right arm come up and towards it? And then inhale, extend everything out long. Now maybe you keep the right leg floating, or maybe let the sole of the right foot come all the way down, let gravity sink in. Inhale, reach everything up towards each other. And exhale, release everything back down. One more time, inhale, everything lifts. Exhaling, releasing down. And then draw your awareness to your right thigh. You're going to find external rotation. So your heels pressing down, your toes are pressing up on that right leg. And the same thing this time, but this time we're going to draw your right knee in towards your right elbow and really squeeze in through the whole right side of the body. And then inhale, extend those right arms and legs back out. Exhaling in, squeezing in tight. And then inhale, see how much length you can find. Last time, exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, extend out. Seal the right foot back down to the ground. Inhale, reach everything up, coming up through neutral. And then reach out to the left to the right. Left fingers reach out to the right. Right hand can reach down the left leg, the right leg. Smooth, even breath. Inhaling back up through center. Exhale, hands can come down to your blocks if you like, or they can stay in prayer, but whichever way you want to go, start to send that right leg slowly out and back, and come all the way back to kneeling. Blocks switch sides. They're going to come over to just the outside of the right leg on a little bit of an angle. Same thing, when you're ready, send the left leg straight out back behind you. Circle the toes all the way out and around. Sole the left foot coming onto the mat. Right hand on your block or on the floor under right shoulder. Inhale, reach everything up and over. Find that nice long arc. So you can stay on the block at any height, or your hand can come down to the mat. You can stay with the right leg there, or you can play here with this inside plank. When you're ready, inhale, everything lifts up, squeezing in towards each other. Exhale, release down. Find that release through gravity. Yeah. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to release out long. One more time, inhale, lifting. Exhaling to release. And then you can let your left hand come down. Draw your awareness to your left thigh bone. So you're going to externally rotate. So your thigh turns up, your toes turn up, your heel presses down. And then start to think about that elbow to knee. So that on your next exhale, your left knee squeezes in towards your left elbow. You can squeeze the left side body as much as you can. And then as you inhale, reach everything out. Find as much length as you can. Exhale, squeeze everything in. Inhale, reach everything out. Last time, elbow to knee on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen everything out. On your next, return the sole of the left foot to the ground. And when you're ready on an inhale, reach everything right back up through center. Exhale, left hand can drop down the left leg or right arm, reaches over to the left. Smooth, even breath. And then as you're ready, hands can come back down to the blocks or they can stay in prayer, making your way back around. Circle the left leg all the way out and back behind you. Knee comes to meet knee. Toes tuck under. Feel free to use your blocks or to play with that balance. And one more time, can you lift your knees and come up into a little low squat? And when you get there, start to send more weight into your feet. Press into them, lift all the way up. Hands come all the way up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up, maybe lift the heart and the hips forward. Exhale, hands come right in to heart center. How are you doing, Roy? Everything good still? Still with me? Great. So I'm going to just move this blanket out of the way so that we can move from standing side to side without anything underneath us. But standing sort of in the center of your mat, facing the long way, what happens if you start to turn your heels out, toes in, and then the toes out, heels in, and just heel toe your way into a nice wide-legged stance. At some point when you feel like you're in your wide-legged stance, that your left toes face towards the edge of the mat, right toes facing slightly towards the left. So you have external rotation in your right hip, internal rotation in your left hip. Inhale, reach those arms right out to the sides, and then as you exhale, bend through that left knee stacking over the left ankle. Settling into a warrior two. Now pull the soles of the feet in towards each other. They won't actually move on the mat, but feel like all that work turns on to the insides of the legs. Flip the palms over. Feel where that puts your shoulder blades. See if you can keep them right there. And then don't let your biceps move. You can even look at the biceps as you flip the palms back down so that your shoulder blades stay nice and set. Smooth even breath here. And then on your next inhale, let your left hand start to reach forward, as far forward as it can. Try not to let your left knee move, so you're staying nice and centered there. And then as you are ready, come back up through center. Reach back through the right hand. So it's a little bit like a tug of war. Left knee doesn't move though. Inhale through center. One more time to each side. Reach all the way out through the left arm, exhaling forward. Inhaling right back to center. Exhaling to reach all the way back. Inhaling back up through center. Flip the palms over as you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, straighten through that front leg. And then start to play with reaching the hips back. You can let your fingertips reach towards each other, reaching towards the left. And then inhale, come back up through center. Now send the hips to the left as you reach the arms back behind you, like a reverse triangle. And then inhale, right back up through center. Exhale, arms extend out just to parallel the floor again. And then start to send the arms way, way, way forward. Left hand, when it can't go any farther forward, can come to your left thigh or left shin. It can come to a block on the outside of the left foot, wherever it wants to come to. Inhale, right arm reaches right up to the sky. And then play in with what feels right in your triangle pose. So that might be letting your gaze come up to that right thumb. Might be letting the gaze go down to the floor. It might be finding that length between right fingers and left fingertips. It might feel really nice to play with movement through the shoulder or to move through the neck. So see where it feels good in your body. What does your body need from this pose? And at some point, starting to lift right back up through center. You know, let your left toes turn in towards center, so you're coming into internal rotation through the left thigh. Inhale, circle the arms right up to the sky, get nice and long through the spine. And then as you exhale, hinge through the hips, send the hips backwards as you reach forwards. And maybe you come just halfway and decide to keep your head higher than your heart. Or maybe you keep on folding forward, letting your head drop all the way down. And let your forehead come to rest on your block stacked. Or let it head drop and maybe even interlace the fingers behind the back, hands lifting up overhead. So find what feels right in the forward fold for you today. One more breath, smooth and even just where you are. And then start to bend in your left knee. You can let the toes turn out a little bit and start to sink down towards that left hip. You can sink as low or stay as high as you like. So you can have your hands on blocks, you can sink way down. And then start to walk yourself through center and walk yourself over to that right foot. So playing with shifting from side to side, Skandasana. You could choose to stay on one side if you feel like it, or you can keep moving back and forth. If it feels better in your body to keep the torso higher, you can walk your hands across your thighs as you go side to side. And at some point, we're going to end up on this left side. Weight on the left side again. Torso a little bit higher. Start to send weight into your left foot. And maybe even shorten your stance a little bit. See, how does it feel to float that right foot off the floor? Send all the weight into that left foot. And then settle it back down again. Hands can be anywhere you feel stable. So they can be heart center. They can be at your hips. They could even be on a chair or the wall. So floating that right leg and then letting it come back down again. Float And come back down and see what happens. Can you get the right knee to lift higher? Can you bend that right knee as you lift up? And then let that right leg step back down. And then float the right leg. Can you get the right knee to lift and come in, squeeze in? Maybe you can find that same motion, the elbow squeezing towards the knee. And then extend back out, let everything reach out long on that right side. Try that 2 more times. See if you can squeeze elbow in towards knee as you lift that knee up. And then extend slowly back out. Last one, squeezing the right leg in. Extend everything back out. Pause here. This time let your left hand drape down your left leg. Right arm reaching way over to the left. And then on an inhale, draw everything right back up through center. Coming, exhaling, hands right into heart center. And then re-heel toe yourself out until you get to your wide-legged stance. Right toes facing towards the right edge of the mat. Right toe slightly in. Extend those arms out, let the right knee sink. And find your warrior 2. Now see if you can find that same action. Legs pulling in towards each other, feet pulling in towards each other. So the hamstrings turn on, nice support through the hips. Flip the palms over, feel the shoulder blades set. Then look at your biceps. Don't let them move as you flip the palms back down. Breath smooth and even. Nice strong warrior 2. Gaze over the fingertips. And then playing a little bit of that tug of war with your Virabhadrasana to start to reach your right arm forward. Don't let your right knee move. As you exhale, reach as far forward as you can. And then inhale, coming back through center. Exhaling, left arm reaches back as far back as you can. Right knee stays over right ankle. Inhale, through center. One more time, each direction. Reaching way far forward. Centering. Right knee stays stacked, reaching as far back as you can without losing that knee. And then coming back through center. Flip the palms over as you inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms right up to the side. Fingers can come to touch. And then start to play with sending the hips to the left as your arms, your torso goes to the right. Inhaling back up through center. Exhaling, hips a little to the right, torso just slightly to the left. Inhaling through center. Exhale, arms come back down to parallel with the floor. Send the hips back, reach as far forward to the right as you can. And then when you can't go any farther, then let the right hand come down wherever it needs to come, whether it's the shin or a block on the outside of the right foot, right down to the mat, wherever it is. Fingertips reaching up, and then decide what feels right in your Trikonasana to you. Is it looking up to your left fingers or looking down? Is it playing with stillness in the body between 2 panes of glass, or is it finding a little bit of movement through the shoulder? Does it feel good to release through the neck? Move through the neck here. At some point, on an inhale, start to lift yourself all the way back up. Right knee coming over towards your right foot. And then starting to sink down to that right side and walking yourself around. Remember, it can be as high or as low as you like. Just finding that walk from side to side, shifting the weight over to the left. And then coming back to the right. Can be nice and low, sinking all the way down. Can be hands up on your thighs or hands on blocks even. Blocks walking around side to side. At some point, settling with the weight over towards this right foot. Right toes facing towards the long edge of the mat, just a little bit. And start to send some weight into that right foot. And then let the left foot come down. Hands to wherever you feel stable. Send a little bit of weight into the right foot. And then release back down. 2 more times, just lifting, floating, sinking gently with control. Inhale, lifting, and then sinking. And then this time as you lift, see if you can start to draw the left knee up. Can you bend that left knee, hug it in, And then exhaling to extend it back out. Inhaling to lift it up. And exhale, extend back out. You're going to reach that left arm up and then see if you can find that elbow towards knee action. The squeezing in of the left side of the body as you lift. And then finding that lengthening of the left side body as you release back down to the floor. 2 more times. Left elbow to left knee. Yes, great. Extend everything out. Last one, elbow in towards knee. Extend everything back out. And then inhale, come all the way back up through center. Turn the toes in on both feet. You might move a little bit through the torso, interlace the fingers, circle the arms. And when you're ready to, hands come to the hips. Exhaling to send the hips back as the torso folds forward. Maybe you decide to stay halfway lifted. Head higher than the heart this time. Maybe you fold all the way down. You decide what you need. So it could be interlacing the fingers behind the back, letting the arms lift up and over. Or it could be even playing with a hand under the shoulder, under the chin, and reaching the opposite arm up to the sky, finding rotation through the spine. And switching to the other side. There's no one right place to be, no one right answer. So sort of play with it, see what feels right in your body. Take another couple of breaths. And then as you're ready, on an inhale, lift up halfway, nice long spine. Hands come to your hips. Bend the knees slightly, sink the hips, and then inhale, press yourself all the way back up. Heel toe those feet slowly together, so playing that internal and external rotation of the thigh bones. Come all the way up to center. Inhale, circle the arms right up to the sky. Gaze to your fingertips. Exhale. Hands come right into the heart. Just checking in. Everything's still good? How are you doing over there? Thumbs up? Good? Great. All right, we're going to come down to the floor one last time. This time you might actually want to be facing the short end of your mat as opposed to the long end of your mat. And you can make your way down to your belly any way you like to get there. You might inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, swan diving down, folding forward. From here, you could step back into tabletop. You could step back into downward facing dog. You can flow through a vinyasa if you like, or you can move through cat and cow on your hands and knees. Or take a second or two in child's pose. So give yourself a moment or two, just feel out what does your body need right here, right now. And when you're ready, making your way all the way down to the abdomen. Getting there, you're gonna let the hands stack one on top of the other. Forehead can rest or cheek can rest. Just take a moment to let go of all the work. To return to that nice, full, three-dimensional breath that we started the practice with. Feel it expanding the back of the body as much as the front of the body with each inhale. Everything contracting back in towards center with the exhale. You might turn the opposite cheek if you have a cheek resting, evening out the cervical spine, and giving yourself just another moment to scan the body mentally. Noticing how much more intensity or how much more ease you'd like for the final little bit of this practice. So when you're ready, you let the forehead come to the mat or to your hands. You're going to find external rotation through the left thigh bone again. So you're going to turn the left thigh bone out, toes turn to the left. And then bend the left knee and draw the left knee up. So your left thigh comes out parallel with your hip. And your knee is at a 90-degree angle. And the shin is pointing straight down. So it's half frog pose, Ardha Bekasana. Can you see what I'm doing, Ray? Is that clear? Good. And then from here, You can let your forehead rest on those hands. Inhale, lift the elbows, lift the head, and that might be plenty. And then you might exhale, release down. This might be exactly what your body wants, nothing more. You might decide to add on in your next inhale. Inhale, lift the head, lift the elbows. Exhale, draw your left elbow towards the left knee. Inhale, extend everything out long. And then exhale, release back down. So decide what you want. 4 more rounds of breath. You might inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Or inhale, lift, exhale, elbow towards knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower. Take one smooth, even breath, release down when you complete that. And then in your time, when you're ready, slowly extend the left leg out long. Let the left thigh bone come back towards neutral. And then feel free to shift a little through the hips. Feel out what's happening left side to right side. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So when you're ready, externally rotate the right thigh bone. The right thigh bone turns out, right toes turn out. Bend that right knee. Jog the right knee up so that it comes out right by your hip. Thigh bone parallel to hip, shin straight down. Finding your half frog pose. And then you decide where to work. You might inhale, lift the elbows, lift the head. Exhaling, release right back down to the floor. Or you can add on so that when you inhale, you lift the elbows, lift the forehead. Exhale, draw your right elbow in towards right knee, squeeze in on that right side. Inhale, reach your spine back through neutral. And then exhale, release back down to the floor. 4 more rounds of breath, doing any variation in there that feels right to you. So noticing what your body wants, what it needs. And whenever you're releasing that, coming back through center, pause for a moment, 1 full round of breath with the knee lifted. And then slowly extend that right leg all the way out long, with the thigh bone come back neutral. Bend the knees and windshield wiper side to side the legs. You're gonna roll yourself all the way onto the back. Make your way there any way you like. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest, just one little moment of circling the knees over the chest, massaging out the low back in each direction. And then letting yourself settle for just one moment into whatever position allows you to rest, to relax and find complete ease. Whatever that might look like in your body today. Taking a moment to mentally scan the feet, the shins, the calves, knees, thighs, hips, low belly, the whole rib cage, space in between the shoulder blades, the upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm of the hand, fingers, tracing from the fingertips to the palm of the hand, to the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulders, and all through the neck, the jaw, ears, eyes resting heavily in the sockets, skin along the forehead going smooth. Sending awareness all through the body one last time, noticing anywhere still holding tension that doesn't need to be. Seeing if you can allow yourself to release just a tiny bit more. Knowing there's nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just this breath to take. And this one. And this one. When you're ready, maybe finding movement with fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Perhaps reaching arms long overhead as though you just awoken for the most delicious sleep. Making your way over onto one side into fetal position. Pausing just for a moment, watching that smooth, even beat of the heart. Steady flow of the breath. All the ways our bodies are nourishing us, even when we aren't paying attention to them. When you're ready to come up, pressing down with one hand and then the other, letting the head come up heavy, maybe eyes still closed. Hands can come together in heart center, and if you'd like to join me, we'll close with the sound of Om, taking in a breath. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May peace be with you. Thank you for practicing with me. I wish you a good rest of the day, as good as it can.